Hey everybody, welcome to another update from Conceal. Wanted to show you some of the things we're up to, where we're at with the company and the design. What we've done is we've moved from 3D parts to getting actual machine parts. These are machine parts, came from the machine shop, showing that the latches are being done. We have different groups of them. These are for the safety. When you pull the safety back on the bottom to release the handle, that's what those two are for. And we're doing all of these in groups of 10, which I'm going to explain in a minute. So what I really just wanted to show you is that we are moving forward. We are making actual machine parts now as opposed to 3D printed, and there's a good reason for that, and they're all being done in groups of 10. The difference in machine parts versus 3D parts is there can be a couple hundredths of thousands of inches off in 3D. They're not perfect. We're not there yet, but when you machine something, it's perfect. So what we're doing now is moving from 3D prints on over to going through an actual machine shop setting. So then I'm going to show you the fire and control group here in a second. Basically, why we're making 10 is we have to make sure that all of these plans and these 3D drawings convert over to being machined and that they fit the pistol with the tolerances that we need. This system has pretty tight tolerance, and we want to make sure that when we actually go into production that it is perfect. So I'm going to show you this. This is actually patent pending now. Part of the reason for the delay is we had to get the patent receipt back. You can't show it in public until you have your patent receipt. This is going to be the new hammer, and what we're doing here, let's get a little closer for you. What we're doing here is we made two gears to select the firing pins. Originally we had this long finger that had to go back and hit a wedge to toggle back and forth to flip the firing pin selector, and it was fine. It's been done in other guns, it's been used before, but when I saw it in ours, especially to the scale that it was, I just felt like it was going to be weak. I felt like it was going to be finicky and not in keeping with my promise to make you guys a really great gun. So maybe a pen would work better to show you. So at any rate, when these gears rotate, there's a pawl back here that flips this gear, which rotates these two gears. So as you can see, each time this hammer flies forward, one of the firing pins will land in a hole, and then the other one would land in the flat spot. So that way, then when you pull the trigger back, again, this gear up top rotates, and then this one would have the hole, and this one would have the flat spot. So what we wanted to do was just make something that was able to survive drops. We know that these things are going to get abused just because of their shape, and people do tend to drop their phones and etc. And occasionally everybody drops a pistol, I suppose. So we wanted to make sure that our firing control group could survive that, and not only survive it, but just be totally unaffected over time. This is really hardy. The other system wasn't. So in December, we essentially gutted the entire inside of the gun and started over. It was a very painful decision, expensive, time-consuming. But again, in keeping with making sure that what we put out is something that I would give to my wife to carry. And anybody I love, I want to make sure that this pistol is just as solid as a rock. So how that fits in here again is basically here you can see in this position down here, it's been pulled back by the trigger and it's getting ready to be released. This is the selector which will rotate these gears, which tells the hammer which firing pin to hit. And then up here in the top, it's in its fired position. You can see that then the gears sit flush onto the firing pins. So that's what we've been up to, and I know it's been a long process. It's been longer than I would have liked. Really, what I want you to know is that we've moved from 3D printing on up to actual production, actual machine parts. And when I say production, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make 10 of these units in a factory setting. And the reason for that is we have to make sure that our 3D parts and our 3D plans, when we go ahead and actually produce them in a machine shop, that all the tolerances are the same and that everything works. The other thing we're going to do then is destructive testing. We're going to shoot them until they break, if they will. We'll abuse them, we'll run water in them, we'll throw them in the dirt, I don't know, do a lot of destruction to see what breaks, and then fix that before we go into full production, because that's when you want to fix anything that's wrong, is before you start putting out thousands of these units and find out, oh gee, that broke or this or that. We're not going to go that route. We're going to make sure when these leave the factory that they are the best possible pistol that we can produce. That's our commitment to you. And so I know there's folks out there with pre-orders. If you happen to be run out of patience, that's fine. We'll be happy to refund your money. Just send an email to connect@idealconceal.com with your name and your other information so that we can go ahead and get your refund. So that's where we're at. You can pre-order these still through a dealer. You can go to your local dealer and ask them to order from us. There's cellphonepistol.biz is our dealer-only site. You need to have an FFL in order to order through that site. That's where we're at right now. We're going to have another big announcement on Monday about where we're going with the company and about the future of the company, and we really hope you hang in there for that. It's exciting. Looking forward to sharing it with you, but I want to wait till a few other things are just perfect to share that news. So thanks so much for your time and your patience. You guys have been great. Appreciate the love and support I see on Facebook, and we are going to get this unit out. It's just going to be perfect when it comes out. So thanks again for your time. Any questions or concerns, again, you can hit us up on Facebook or connect@idealconceal.com. Thanks a lot, guys. Take care.